Hello everyone. I want you to imagine this. You wake up, the sunlight is just coming through the window, and before you even get out of bed, your hand reaches out for your phone. You unlock it, open Instagram, TikTok, and maybe Snapchat. You tell yourself just for a few minutes, but soon 1 minute becomes 10, 10 becomes 30, and before you even know it, an hour is gone. Sounds familiar? Well, you're not alone. We live in a world where disconnection is hidden behind connection, where we feel addicted but no one calls it that. That's what I want to talk about today, phone addiction, a quite modern addiction that many of us live with without even noticing. Let's be honest, this doesn't happen one day. Phone addiction starts slowly. We grow into it. Today, almost 90% of people aged 16 to 24 are active on social media, according to Statista. The average user spends 2.5 hours a day scrolling. That's over 17 hours a week, almost a whole day every week gone to our screens. Also, it's not just a feeling. Today, 50% of teens say they feel addicted to their phones and social media, according to a report from Zipto. This is more than a pattern, it's a habit. This is more than a habit, it's a pattern that starts early and affects millions. Now think about children. Kids today start using phones earlier than ever. A 2022 study from the University of California found that kids aged 10 to 11 that spend too much time on their screens, like social media, texting, and video games, were more likely to show signs of many symptoms, like inflated self-esteem and impulsive behavior. But why? Because their brains are still growing and screens can change the way they develop. Also, a survey by Zipto reported that 71% of people sleep next to their phones. That includes many children too. And kids copy what they see. If adults are always on their phones, kids will think that's normal. We are raising a generation that knows how to swipe, but maybe not how to speak, that knows how to scroll, but struggles to focus. Now let me tell you something personal. There was a time when I couldn't go more than 10 minutes without checking my phone. I checked it before bed, I checked it the moment I opened my eyes. I told myself I was just bored, but deep down I knew I was hooked. And it didn't feel good. I started to feel anxious, unmotivated, and disconnected from real life. I was one of the 71% who checked their phones within 50 minutes of waking up. And changing that habit wasn't easy, but little by little, I did it. And it changed the way I felt about my mind, my time, and my relationships. Here's something we don't talk about enough. Parents play a big role too. Sometimes, parents give their kids phones to keep them busy or keep them quiet. And yes, it can work, but for a moment. And in the long term, the cost is big. An article from the Times shared that how many parents are now so attached to their phones that they spend less time engaging with their children. And when adults scroll through dinner or ignore conversations, kids will learn that's normal. That's why adults need to lead by example. If you want kids to look up, we need to look up too. In the end, phones are not the enemy. They are tools that help us connect, learn, and explore. But they should serve us, not control us. Because if you choose screen life over real life, every moment you spend scrolling is a moment we don't spend living, or hear our own thoughts, or talk to a friend. So let's take back control. Let's learn to be present. Let's choose real life over screen life, because real life, with all its colors, people, and sounds, is where our true stories happen. Thank you.